Chapter 25 Damu Anna Kasar of Hemadnagar Speculations Amralila. Preliminary. We begin this chapter with a bow with all our 8 limbs to Sai Baba, who is an ocean of mercy, the God incarnate, who is Parabrahma, and the great Yogeshwara. Victory be unto Sai Baba, who is the crest jewel of the saints, who is the home of all auspicious things, who is our Atmaram, and who is the able refuge of the devotees. We prostrate ourselves before him, who has attained the aim and end of life. Sai Baba is always full of mercy. What is wanted on our path is wholehearted devotion to him. When a devotee has got firm faith and devotion, his wishes are soon fulfilled. When the desire arose in the mind of Hemadpant to write the life and leelas of Sai Baba, he immediately got it written by him. When the order to keep the memos are given, Hemadpant was inspired, and this intellect got strength and boldness to undertake and finish the work. He was not, he say, qualified to write the work, but the gracious blessings of Baba enabled him to complete the undertaking. And thus you have this Satcharitra, which is a Somkan jewel, from which nectar in the form of Sai Leelas oozes out for the readers to drink to their heart's content. Whenever a devotee has complete and wholehearted devotion to Sai Baba, all his calamities and dangers were warded off and his welfare attended to by Baba. The story of Damodar Savalram Risane, Kasar of Hemadnagar, alias Damu Anna, illustrating this above statement, is given below. Damu Anna. The readers are aware that a mention of this gentleman was made in the 6th chapter regarding the celebration of Ram Navami festival in Shirdi. He went to Shirdi about in the year 1895 when the Ram Navami Utsav celebration began, and from that time he has been provided an ornamental flag for that occasion every year. He also feeds the poor and the fakirs that come for the festival. His speculations. First one is cotton. A Bombay friend of Damu Anna wrote to him that they should do some cotton speculation business in partnership, which would bring them 2 lakhs of rupees as profit. Damu Anna says in a statement made about the year 1936 to Mr. B.V. Narasimhaswamy that the proposal about speculating at Bombay in cotton was from a broker who was not to be a partner, and that he was to be the sole adventurer. The broker wrote that the business was good and involved no risks and the opportunity should not be lost. Damu Anna was oscillating in his mind. He could not at once determine to venture in the speculation. He thought that this, as he was a devotee of Baba, he wrote a detailed letter to Shama giving all the facts and requested him to consult Baba and take his advice in the matter. Shama got the letter the next day, and when he went at the noon to the masjid and placed it before Baba, he asked Shama what the matter was and what the paper was about. He replied that Damu Anna of Nagar wanted to consult him about something. Then Baba said, "What does he write and what does he plan? It seems that he wants to catch the sky and that he is not content with what God has given him. Read his letter." Shama then said, "The letter contains what you just said. O Deva, you sit there calm and composed and agitate the devotees and make them restless. You draw them here, some in person, others through letters. If you know the content of the letters, why do you press me to read it?" Baba said, "O Shama, read it please. I speak at random, and who believes me?" Then Shama read the letter and Baba heard it attentively and said feelingly, "This Damu Anna has gone mad. Write to him and reply that nothing is wanting in his house. Let him be content with the half loaf, that is bread he has, and let him not bother about lakhs." Shama sent the letter, which Damu Anna was anxiously waiting for. Reading it, he found that all his hopes and prospects about lakhs of rupees as profit were dashed to the ground. He thought that he had done a mistake in consulting Baba, but as Shama had intended in the reply that there was always much difference between seeing and hearing, and therefore he should come to Shirdi personally and see Baba. He thought it was advisable to go to Shirdi and consult Baba personally about the affair. So he went to Shirdi, saw Baba prostrated before him, and sat shampooing his legs. He had no courage to ask Baba openly about the speculation, but he thought in his mind that it would be better if some share in the business should be assigned to Baba, and said in the mind that if Baba were to help him in this transaction, he would surrender some shares of the profit to him. Damu Anna was thus thinking secretly in his mind, but nothing was veiled from Baba. Everything past, present and future were clear to him as a amalaka fruit in hand. A child wants sweets, but his mother gives him bitter pills. The former spoils the health, the latter improves it. So the mother, to be welfare of the infant, coaxes it and gives it bitter pills. Baba, kind mother as he was, knew the present and future prospect of his devotees, and therefore reading Damu Anna's mind, he openly spoke to him. Bapu, I do not want to be entangled in any such worldly things. Seeing Baba's disapproval, Damu Anna dropped the enterprise. Second one, graining dealing. Then he thought of trading in grain, rice, wheat, and other groceries. Baba read his thought and said to him, "You will be buying at 5 shares and selling at 7 shares a rupee." So this business was also given up. The rise in the prices of the grains were kept up for some time, and Baba's prophecy seemed to be falsified. But in a month or two, there was abundant rain everywhere, and the prices suddenly fell down, and therefore, who stored grain suffered a severe loss. Damona was saved from this fate. Needless to say that the cotton speculation, which was conducted by the broker with the help of another merchant, also collapsed with severe loss to the adventurer. After seeing that Baba had saved him from two severe losses in cotton and grain speculation, Damohana's faith in Baba grew strong, and he remained a true devotee of Baba till his passing away and even now. Amra Leela, Mango Magic. Once a parcel of about 300 good mangoes were received at Shirdi. It was sent from Goa by one Mamaltar named Raleigh to Sai Baba in the name of Shama. When it was opened, all the mangoes were found to be in good condition. They were given in Shama's charge, and only 4 were retained and placed in the Kolamba by Baba. He said that these 4 fruits are for Damu Anna. Let them lie there. This Damu Anna had 3 wives. According to a statement mentioned here, he had not 3 but 2 wives only. He had no issue. He consulted many astrologers and himself studied astrology to some extent and found that there was a Papi, that is an inauspicious planet in his horoscope. There was no prospect of any issue to him in this life, but he had great faith in Baba. When he went to Shirdi 2 hours after the receipt of the mango parcel for worshipping Baba, he said, "Though other people are coming here for mangoes, they are damyas. He whose they are should eat and die." Damohana, on hearing these words, was first shocked, but on Mahansapati, a prominent Shirdi devotee, explaining to him that death meant the death of the little self or egos, and to have it at Baba's feet was a blessing. He said that he would accept the fruit and eat it, but Baba said to him, "Do not eat it yourself, but give them to your junior wife." This Amra Leela, that the mango magic, will give her 4 sons and 4 daughters. This was done, and ultimately in due course it was found out that the Baba's words turned out true, and not only those of the astrologers. Baba's speech established his efficacy or greatness while he was living in the flesh. But wonder of wonders, it did the same even after it passing away. Baba said, "Believe me, though I pass away, my bones in my tomb will give you hope and confidence. Not only myself, but my tomb will be speaking, moving, and communicating with those who would surrender themselves wholeheartedly to me. Do not be anxious that I would be absent from you. You will hear my bones speaking and discussing your welfare. But remember me always, believe in me, heart and soul, and then you will always be benefited." Prayer. Hemadpant closes this chapter with a prayer. "O Sai Sadguru, the wish-fulfilling tree of the Bhaktas, let us never forget and lose sight of your feet. We have been troubled with the ins and outs in the samsar. Now free us from the cycle of births and deaths. Restrain us from the outgoing of our senses to the objects and introverts, and bring us face to face with the Atma, that is the Self. As long as this outgoing tendency of the senses and the mind is not checked, there is no prospect of self-realization. Neither son, nor wife, nor friend will be of any use in the end. It's only you who will give us salvation and happiness. Destroy completely our tendency for discussion and other evil matters. Let our tongue get a passion for chanting your name. Dry out our thoughts, good or otherwise, and make us forget our bodies and houses, and do away with the egoism. Make us ever remember your name and forget all the other things. Remove the restlessness of your mind and make it steady and calm. If you just clasp us, the darkness of the night of our ignorance will vanish, and we shall live happily in your light. That you made us drink the nectar of your Leelas and awaken us from a slumber is due to your grace and our store of merits in the past birth. Note: in this connection, the following extract from Damohana's statement mentioned above is worth perusal. "Once when I sat at his feet along with others, I had 2 questions in my mind, and he gave answers to both. There's so much crowding to Sai Baba. Do they all get benefit from him?" To this he replied orally, "Look at the mango tree. In blossom, if all the flowers bore fruits, what a splendid crop it would be. But do they? Most fall off, either as flowers or as unripe fruits by the wind, and very few remain." And the second question was about myself. If Baba were to pass away, how hopeless adrift I would be and how I am to fare then. To this Baba answered that he would be with me when and wherever I thought of him. That promise he had kept up before 1918 and had been keeping up after 1918. He is still with me, he is still guiding me. This was about 1910 to 1911 when brothers separated from me and my sisters died, and there was a theft and police inquiry, all of which incidents upset me so much. When my sister died, my mind was so much upset I did not care for life and enjoyment. When I went to Baba, he pacified me with his Upadesh and made me eat a feast of Puran Poli at Appa Kulkarni's house and get pasted with sandal. There was a theft in my house. A 30-year friend of mine stole my wife's jewel box, including her auspicious nati, that is a nose ring. I wept before Baba's photo. The next day, the man returned the jewel box and prayed for pardon. Bo to Sri Sai, peace be to all.